So I'm just going to cover a couple different areas of government law and how that impacts. And this is to be statutory and administrative, but just to give you some idea of what's out there under the government rubric. So there's a flat folding bike helmet. Okay, you could fold flat and wear it on yourself rather than the hard one. And so here's a picture of it, and it looks like a very innovative thing. Can they win approval of the Consumer Product Safety Commission? Do you think that we need to have the government telling us what we should use and what is safe and what isn't safe? Should they be telling us that? How many of you use lawn darts? Well, the Consumer Product Safety Commission says you can't sell them to consumers. You can sometimes find them at an antique store. You guys know what lawn darts are? Well, what's a lawn dart?
Like the game that you play? It's like a giant, it looks like a dart, and you throw it like this, and it goes like that, and it sticks in the ground.
Yeah, and you used to have a circle, and you try hitting into the circle. But little Johnny, dumb little Johnny, is like, I can catch it, and Johnny gets impaled now with a metal spike that's that long. It's not that little, Johnny is a little dumb, you know what? What are we gonna do? We're gonna blame the company, because they should have put a warning on it saying, don't let Johnny near this, or tell Johnny not to catch it, or whatever it might be. Do you think we need that kind of protection? A lot of you are shaking your head saying, yeah, we have a lot of dumb idiots out there. And remember, that was one of the 5 elements of the law. There's a constitutional right to be an idiot. And people exercise that on a daily basis. Yeah, that's correct here as well. So do we need that? What else should they regulate then? Should they regulate energy drinks? How do you think that they should regulate energy drinks? Here's a headline, 5 deaths associated with energy drinks. I had a case where a young kid playing soccer, he wanted to get motivated. I'm going to get pumped for the game. Drank 5 Red Bulls. Went out there, went in what's called commotor cordis, where the heart basically stopped working. And now he's brain damaged. I mean, they provided aid almost immediately. They provided CPR, everything else. Should they not let people drink energy drinks anymore? Should they allow you? How many of you have been to a bar where they served energy drinks with hard alcohol? Okay, and how many of you have had that before? Okay, so what is caffeine? A stimulant. What is alcohol? A depressant. So now you're a manic depressive at the bar. Okay.
Cancel each other out.
What are we going to do? Should they ban that from bars? Do you think? Should the government intervene? This thing that we have to take a look at what's in the best interest of the citizens. Should, with our new push with Obamacare and fitness, that we need fitness in America, so this, should the government come in and say, you're required to eat broccoli, asparagus, turnips, Brussels sprouts, and spinach with every meal now? We'd say that's ridiculous, right? That shouldn't be allowed, especially spinach, right? Or broccoli, whatever your worst vegetable is. But can't we say that's for the good of people? Wouldn't that provide a healthier society? Should we mandate, for example, that schools have at least 60 minutes a day of fitness? Now, I don't know about you guys, how many of you had PE classes every day of the week in high school? 3 in the class. How many of you had it twice a week? Okay, how about 3 times a week? Some people, I need 4 times a week. How about one time a week? One person, how about no requirement for physical activity? Okay, so everyone had at least 60 minutes a week of PE class. Woo! That's great, right? Should the government step in and say, no, you need more than that? I mean, who should decide that? Because if we're turning into an obese nation, if we can't control our own selves, should the government mandate that? And it's not that unusual. I went to school in California. In my high school, to graduate, you had to be able to tread water for 5 minutes. It was a mandate. They have to be able to do that. Because we're by the beach, you don't want people drowning. You want to make sure people have that skill set. So shouldn't this be required? You guys aren't advocating one way or another. I need to know. I need to know how government should get involved. Because government does get involved. But where is that line? You guys don't want to give me a line?
I think it's over intrusive into your personal life. I mean, if you're a parent and little Johnny doesn't want to go outside and little Johnny wants to sit in front of the TV and eat ho-hos and bonbons, that's your prerogative. But if you want to be an active parent and get involved with the kids' lives and say, listen, turn the TV off, go outside, and don't come home until it's dark, then that's your prerogative too. I mean,
But then how about if I say, look, I want to drive, and I think my 14-year-old is very mature, and I think she can handle it. I think she can handle the pressure much more so than that 90-year-old who's blind and still driving.
She's putting other people's lives at risk now. I mean, she's now on a public interstate.
Thoroughfare?
You know what I mean?
Okay, well, how about if we have little Johnny now is 550 pounds and a 12-year-old, and we're now putting public money
Into his healthcare.
Healthcare versus putting that money for someone who did everything right and isn't eating bonbons and ho-hos and ding-dongs and all those other fine culinary treats. How should we handle this?
Well, I mean, you also have to take into account, like, regulation. So you're saying that, he's gotta eat this or we have to do this. How are you going to enforce that and regulate that? And then if you do, what's that gonna cause as far as, like, people who are now criminals? I didn't eat my broccoli at dinner, so now I'm gonna go to jail, I get a fine. Like, do we all eat regulated meals in closed circuit television rooms? That's almost impossible.
That sounds very reasonable. We all should be there on the screen where everyone could see everyone eating their broccoli at the same time, in the same time zone, Who knows? We could shut it off because it's blinking, which means it's running out of power.